everyone. Welcome to Daily Dictation. This week we are looking at the topic online school. This video is an interactive video, which means that we are going to do an exercise as if you were a student in my class. I'm going to do a listening and writing exercise to help you improve your listening and writing skills. This video is for high intermediate English speakers. And the reason for this video is to help you improve your skills as to listen and take notes, write things down in English at the same time, because this is an essential skill if you're looking to take an IELTS course and an IELTS exam, if you're looking at taking TOEFL or PTE or something like that. You really need to have the skill because all those exams have a listening portion, and sometimes you only get to listen one time. So it is really important that you're able to listen that one time, and from that one listening, able to write the key things effectively and write down notes effectively with the correct spelling, grammar, everything like that. This exercise really helps you build those skills, especially if you do it every day. I have always done this with my students, and I see them improve at very impressive in really impressive ways. I can say, like, the rates at which they improve it always blows me away ever since I started to do this exercise, and I've heard nothing but good feedback. So I wanted to make it available to all of you. So the reason I'm doing online school is to introduce vocabulary to you, because this is a topic that comes up in those exams. So you're going to want to be able to provide responses, written responses and verbal responses by applying this grammar very, very well. And that's why we're doing that today. And all of my videos, every week I look at a different topic that is likely to come up in these proficiency exams. So study each video every day in order to get a very good range of vocabulary, very good writing skills, very good listening skills. Let's continue. Like I said, you should join me every day from Monday to Friday. There's going to be new sentences. There's new topics each week. So each week we look at the same set of vocabulary, but used in different ways. 2 English levels are offered, and there's a vocabulary list and practice worksheets available. The instructions. You will need a blank piece of paper and a pencil. 5 sentences will be read. Each sentence will be read 3 times and 1 more time at the end. You have to write down each sentence the best that you can. You will use your listening skills and try your best to apply the correct spelling, punctuation, and capitalization. So you will see on the screen here, there's going to be numbers 1 through 5. These numbers represent each sentence that I will read. Please listen and write down each sentence as accurately as you can. We'll start with sentence number 1. Interactive learning strategies, which are often employed in a hybrid model, can be significantly enhanced by integrating a learning management system. Interactive learning strategies, which are often employed in a hybrid model, can be significantly enhanced by integrating a learning management system. Interactive learning strategies, which are often employed in a hybrid model, can be significantly enhanced by integrating a learning management system. Number 2, while synchronous sessions allow for real-time interaction and immediate feedback, asynchronous modules in a hybrid model provide flexibility. While synchronous sessions allow for real-time interaction and immediate feedback, asynchronous modules in a hybrid model provide flexibility. While synchronous sessions allow for real-time interaction and immediate feedback, asynchronous modules in a hybrid model provide flexibility. Number 3. The Learning Management Systems Discussion Board facilitates ongoing interactive learning activities within each module of the hybrid model. The Learning Management Systems Discussion Board facilitates ongoing interactive learning activities within each module of the hybrid model. Number 4. Effective multimedia tools with the learning management system can greatly support interactive learning. Effective multimedia tools with the learning management system can greatly support interactive learning. Effective multimedia tools within a learning management system can greatly support interactive learning. Number 5, in a hybrid model that blends synchronous and asynchronous learning, the learning management system must be accessible. In a hybrid model that blends synchronous and asynchronous learning, the learning management system must be accessible. In a hybrid model that blends synchronous and asynchronous learning, the learning management system must be accessible. In a hybrid model that blends synchronous and asynchronous learning, the learning management system must be accessible. I'm going to read each sentence one more time, starting with number 1. Interactive learning strategies, which are often employed in a hybrid model, can be significantly enhanced by integrating a learning management system. Number 2. While synchronous sessions allow for real-time interaction and immediate feedback, asynchronous modules in a hybrid model provide flexibility. Number 3. The Learning Management Systems Discussion Board facilitates ongoing interactive learning activities within each module of the hybrid model. Number 4. Effective multimedia tools within a learning management system can greatly support interactive learning. Number 5. In a hybrid model that blends synchronous and asynchronous learning, the learning management system must be accessible. All right, let's have a look at our answers. I'm sure everybody did a wonderful job. Now, if you found that this video was a little bit too fast or hard to catch in some areas, you can listen again and adjust the playback speed to make it go slower. If you need to listen to specific sentences again, just check the description for timestamps, and this will help you listen to specific sentence numbers again. So let's get ready to check our answers. So for this one, interactive learning strategies, which are often employed in a hybrid model, can be significantly enhanced by integrating a learning management system. So here we have a comma, and here we have a comma. In the middle, we're using our commas to separate what we call a relative clause or an adjective clause. So it's either relative or adjective. You might hear it be used in different ways. But basically, it's just an additional clause that gives us more information about something. It's not essential. So if I took this part out, the sentence would still make perfect sense. It just didn't have that extra piece of information. So if I said interactive learning strategies can be significantly enhanced by integrating a learning management system, that would make perfect sense without this part. But when you add extra information like this in the form of a relative or adjective clause, which starts with a relative or adjective pronoun, which is which, sometimes we use that, who, etc., then we are trying to add that additional information, and we set it up. We have a comma on each side. So that's quite important. So it comes after the subject, and then within there, we have a form of be and another verb, some more information, and then we add that, finish up the clause, and then have this helping verb be significantly enhanced by integrating a learning management system. So we're having significantly to, we're having the adverb here to modify can be. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay, so we have, while synchronous sessions allow for real-time interaction and immediate feedback, asynchronous modules in a hybrid model provide flexibility. Now, a couple things that you have to pay attention for this one. We're first going to look at our commas. We're starting with a conjunction here because we're comparing two things. So we like to use the word while to compare two different things. And so we start with this conjunction at the beginning of our sentence, showing us that this is a dependent clause. So we're going to need to start, and after the independent clause is done, we add a comma. When the independent clause starts, then we don't need a comma. If we had this in the opposite way, like we've looked at other videos, so we started with the independent clause, which is this one. We put that first. Say IC for independent clause, then we don't need a comma anymore. So for example, I could say, in this case, because my independent clause here goes first and my dependent clause goes second, I don't need any comma. Because my dependent clause started this sentence up here, and then my independent clause followed this one, I do need a comma. So that explains that. Now, another thing that you'll have to pay attention to in this week's dictation videos, you'll have to really listen for the difference between model and module. Now, you're really going to have to listen hard for this one because there is a slight pronunciation difference. Model, module. And in the second one, you really hear the module, module. So I'm really emphasizing a lot more than I would in a typical sentence, just so you really hear this U sound. When you hear that sound, and also module, this D, the way it all rolls off my tongue out of my mouth, kind of sounds like a jewel, jewel, kind of like a J-U-L kind of sound, jewel. Module has a very hard D in it. Module, like that. So there is a slight pronunciation difference, and that's how you know which word to apply in these sentences. Another thing to remember is real time. We're putting a hyphen in there or a dash, real time, because it's actually being used as an adjective. So we put two things together to kind of make it function like an adjective. We're going to put a dash or a hyphen in between those words to make it kind of seem like it's one word. Okay, so hopefully those concepts are a little bit better described for you here. Let's have a look at sentence number 3. The Learning Management Systems Discussion Board facilitates ongoing interactive learning activities within each module of the hybrid model. Again, module, model. Hopefully this time you heard the difference a little bit more naturally as I was reading it. Here is our noun, really. This is our article, and it's an article because our noun, learning management system, which is all functions like a noun here, is specific. So we're using the word the because I'm talking about specific one. And then this shows that it's possessive. So the discussion board, which is another noun, belongs to the learning management system. So we're going to use apostrophe S to show that possessiveness. Effective multimedia or multimedia tools within a learning management system can greatly support interactive learning. So with this, our verb doesn't really come until the end, and we have an adverb. Our adverb greatly modifies this verb, support. And this is a noun. Interactive learning is a noun. Effective multimedia, this is an adjective and a noun. Multimedial tools within a learning management system. So we have a lot of nouns in this. So we have basically noun within noun, verbs, and noun. So that is kind of a harder structure we have here, but still a valid structure nonetheless. Now let's have a look at our final sentence here. In a hybrid model that blends synchronous and asynchronous learning, the learning management system must be accessible. So here, I am providing like an introduction to more information in a hybrid model that blends synchronous and asynchronous learning, like that. So because I'm providing that, I am going to put a comma after what I'm talking about. We say this when we start with like a preposition in. In February, we celebrate Valentine's Day, for example. In December, many westernized countries celebrate Christmas. So just like that, when we're starting with preposition, we're finished talking about the thing which we are focusing on. Then we're going to put the comma after. It's just kind of an introduction to our main idea. And you can do this with preposition in, and it's also commonly used with preposition on as well. And again, we talked about yesterday, how do we remember the spelling of synchronous and asynchronous? You really have to split it up. Synchron. So split it up in these 3 parts. And when you split it up in smaller chunks, it's easier to remember. That's true for all long and difficult words. You'll also, the more you practice this daily dictation exercise, you're going to become more familiar with our spelling conventions. So is it S-I-O-N or is it T-I-O-N, for example? And there are minor differences, but both of those endings, we call them suffixes. They make nouns, basically. So you'll get to learn more about what words have this, because it takes a lot of memorization. So the more that you practice, the more you're going to be able to just know immediately how to apply these spelling conventions. Now, all of these bold words are the words that we're focusing on this week. So these are the words that we're going to be seeing in our dictation sentences: interactive learning, hybrid model, learning management system, multimedia, discussion board, synchronous, asynchronous, module. So these are the ones that we want to be very, very comfortable with, very, very confident with. Besides that, we are all finished for today. Keep on studying, keep on trying your best, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.